Good morning and welcome to X-Ray on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. It's 9:35 a.m. My name is Ruth Usman and I have with me in the studio Comrade Salihu Mahmood. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Queen of the Mics.
Okay, there we go again. But it's a pleasure to have you here. On X-Ray today, we want to look at some of the things, one of the three major things that this present administration campaigned on. And while we will be looking at that, of course, is one reason that Nigeria will mark Democracy Day tomorrow. And so we want to look at one of these three major things that this administration has promised to focus on. I mean, talking about the whole change that we were to experience in security, in the economy, and other things. But because you are here, we will be focusing on security. Now, it came with this mantra of change, and we were expecting to see certain changes in the security situation in the country. So looking at how far we've come, would you say that these expectations by Nigerians have been met by this administration?
Well, first of all, let me join Nigerian children by wishing them a happy Children's Day.
In retrospect,
I remember some years back we used to go also and celebrate it, but they are not enjoying it that way. When we look at some of the cardinal points of this Buhari administration, when they were being inaugurated in 2015, I think first was security. When we go by the fight that the security forces are having against the insurgent forces in the Northeast, we commend the Buhari administration. But coming to other sabotage that later came to be when issues of herdsmen, farmers clash, Biningwari killings in Zamfara, killings in Kayama, local government area of Kwara State, killings in Taraba, Adamawa, and some nook and crannies of the country, we would say, I think the concentration and focus on fight against the Boko Haram insurgents in the Northeast overwhelmed the forces by relegating to also have a second thought that as we are fighting these insurgents in a particular zone of the country, there might be a breakdown of law and order or attacks in some other parts of the country. Therefore, I think going by what I mentioned to you, the fight against the Boko Haram insurgents, I will score the administration 60%. But
okay, that's your score.
Yes.
But from what you may have been hearing from other Nigerians, what you have experienced as well, would you say that the expectations, you remember how the whole campaigning thing was about this thing will change about security, this will change about corruption, this will change, about so many other things. Focusing on security, which you are an expert, and that's why we have you on the program, would you say Nigerians' expectations have been met?
Well, I was...
So that then we'll proceed and see, well, if yes and if no...
I was categorical. I told you, when we go by the fight against insurgents in the Northeast, it is based on that I scored the administration 60%, not security in totality.
Okay.
And I also mentioned to you about other issues that came up that has to do with
okay, well, just go on. The mic. Okay. Let's try that and see.
Like I mentioned to you, but coming to later issues like herdsmen farmers clash that led to deaths of innocent Nigerians in some parts of the country, the Bindingwari banditry attacks, Zamfara banditry attacks, and attacks all over the country, I will say that the administration got no score at all. So when you are talking about security, you don't just talk about one component or one aspect. You talk about it in totality, because in our homes.
And that's exactly what I really wanted to say, because I mean, if we're talking about the terrorism aspects, the Boko Haram, it's really just an aspect. We want a situation whereby you know that you will not be hearing about armed robberies here and there. You won't be hearing about kidnappings. You won't be hearing about other upheavals here and there.
Well, you see, the problem also is this. When you don't have the right channel of recruitment into the armed forces, the police, and other security apparatus, this is what you get. Let me tell you something. This army recruitment that is ongoing already, it has taken another direction where regular recruits that passed medical screening, that their academic credentials were okay, they packed them from their states, took them to depot. All they got there from the recruitment officers are, who is your godfather? Or are you ready to give money? They are up and doing, they are capable, they are able-bodied, but look at what is going on. How do you get the right caliber, the right class of youths, combatant soldiers, to man, to go and fight? These are the areas. So like we've often mentioned, you see the recruitment process, the problem starts from there.
Okay, so there are challenges in achieving this.
There are certain things are not done how they are supposed to be done, when and how. And I tell you, even with what the Inspector General of Police is saying too, it is going to be like what is happening in the army depot now, where at the end of the day, they will say which of the Commissioner of Police gave you note, which of the AIG. It has already happened. Ask most of the boys that went for the army recruitment at the depot, Zaria, they will tell you that. Be it as it may, the government of Muhammadu Buhari need to do more. You see, you don't just fight or ensure security by combat fight. That is using combatant officers, either of the Army, Air Force, Navy, or anti-riot policemen. No, it goes beyond that. What happens to area of intelligence gathering and sharing? Synergy. We know issue of synergy has been lacking because every organ of the security apparatus is feeling superior. The Defense Intelligence Agency wants to gather intelligence, keep it to itself. Naval Intelligence wants to gather intelligence, keep it to itself. Air Intelligence wants to gather intelligence, keep it to itself. Police Criminal Investigation Department wants to gather intelligence, keep it to itself. Department of State Services, same thing. Then again, we have what you call NIA, National Intelligence Agency. They are in our embassies and high commissions abroad. What intelligence have they been gathering, and how have they been making this intelligence they gathered abroad useful at home? Because sometimes some of these threats to our security, they are planned right from abroad. Then also in our high commissions and embassies, we have what you call defense attaches. They are of the military. They are drawn from defense apparatus, that is Army, Navy, Air Force. Every embassy you see across the world that are representing Nigeria, we have what you call our defense attaché. They call them military attaché. Then you also have immigration attaches. What are these officers and men also doing to make sure that the intelligence they are gathering there is being used at home? Then coming back home here, you look at the area of motivation and morale boosting that is lacking, especially the other ranks of the armed forces, police, DSS, and other security apparatus. The motivation to go and lay their lives, is it there? The proper training, is it there? The proper terrain and what have you? The tactics, the strategy, and others, are they also there? Because it has always been, how many generals, for instance, outside the divisions of the army, outside the air commands of the Air Force, on Western Naval Command or Police Zonal Command, and also goes there to supervise. Supervision is also important and necessary. You find out that the so-called majors, generals, the so-called commissioners of police, the so-called air vice marshals, rear admirals, they are there enjoying air condition. The highest rank you find at battlefield outside the theater commander might be brigadier general or colonel. And if you come to Army headquarters, Naval headquarters, Air Force headquarters, Police Force headquarters, DSS headquarters, you see a lot of AIGs, commissioners of police, rear admirals, air commodores, air vice marshals, major generals. What are they doing there? Security has to do with supervision. Let me even give you a small example. Take the nook and crannies of Abuja, where we have the president, we have the vice president, we have the senate president, we have the members of diplomatic community, we have representatives of international institutions. You find out that certain security threats happens. You park your car, you either don't find it there, or human beings are being kidnapped. Why? Because these boys that are sent to carry out the field assignment, they don't get properly supervised. Then, even in aspects and areas where they are supervising them, the motivation and morale booster is lacking. How do you expect performance? Of course, you expect nothing. Then the president, we call him president and commander-in-chief. He has not deemed it fit to send his emissaries in secret, in confidence, to go, okay, these boys that have, meted out certain assignments to, what are they doing? These are the issues. So, and to achieve security, you need more than sitting in glass house. It's all inclusive, both the rednecks and the rank and file and other ranks. That is it. So if we are talking generally in terms of performance, I think I will give 40%. That is below average to the Buhari administration.
Wow.
They need to sit up, because outside the fight against insurgency, other security threats are there all over the country.
Like I mentioned, armed robbery, kidnapping,
banditry, and host of others.
So, but what, by way of advice now, what do you think, what ways can you suggest perhaps to carry out some of these things to ensure that these vices are reduced at least?
Let some of the superior officers that were trained with taxpayers' money within and outside the country also be sent to the field. Then also, more training should be enhanced in intelligence gathering and sharing. Agreed with that the Defense Intelligence Agency, Department of State Services, Police Criminal Investigation Department, and other intelligence arms of other security apparatus are doing their best. But they need to gear up, because without intelligence gathering, there can be combat, what have you. Because it is when you gather intelligence, you now come, you say, okay, we feel that these people that are involved in these attacks on farmers are in so area. These are the routes. Look at our porous borders, for instance. In the United States of America, outside their immigration customs, they also have what you call U.S. Coast Guard. Why can't we send a lot of our expert intelligent operatives to border areas, and also some of these porous areas where there has been case of kidnapping, herdsmen, farmers attack, as well as banditry, to be permanently stationed there rather than this periodical stationing. For example, now in Bindingwari, we have the army, they have stationed their officers and men there. The police have their own and other security apparatus. Same thing with Benue, Taraba, and others. But after 6 months, you go there, you may not find them. Why? Is security supposed to be a periodical thing? No, it's supposed to be permanent. Areas that have been found to be prone to attacks, they should permanently station military cantonment there, intelligence operatives office there, as well as other apparatus of the security to permanently engage these people that are called bandits, herders, hired mercenaries, kidnappers, and all those other small and petty criminals, as well as insurgents. Not issue of saying we are having theater commands. No. Like, for example, we have one mechanized division in Kaduna. A place like Makurdi, outside the tactical air command of the Air Force, I don't think they have anything that is equivalent to one mechanized division Kaduna. I think it's even one mechanized or third armored division just that they might be under. So if an area is found to be prone to attacks, you should permanently station security offices there to be well funded. But intelligence must form the focal point, because without intelligence gathering, you cannot go there and take combatants and just, it will amount to going to waste officers, because you don't even know the type of bush you are going to comb. It's just like area of this Benue and Bindingwari, Zamfara, Taraba, Adamawa, Kwara, and host of Niger and host of others, without sending intelligence operatives to go in disguise. And when I'm talking about intelligence operatives, it shouldn't be one security institution alone. No, it should be combined, just the way you do joint task force in combat operation. Intelligence operation can also be made as a joint task force, where you have intelligence operatives from the Defense Intelligence Agency, from the Army, Navy, Air Force, DSS, police, immigration, customs, civil defense, even fire service, and even federal road safety if they have intelligence corps, even vehicle inspection officers that check vehicles on the road. Their intelligence arm are necessary at this time. It must not be everybody that will bear arm. Intelligence gathering exceeds bearing arm, because sometimes if you go there looking so combatant, they already know, the army officer has come in camouflage.
And your device and other
that is it. But if you disguise, I don't want to mention the kind of disguise, because sometimes they might be stealing our ideas on air. You can disguise the type of trade that, like in Benue, for instance. What is the major trade in Benue? You disguise in Guma, where these attacks happen on and on. You disguise in their trade. In Bindingwari, in Zamfara, in Adama, in Kwara, where they have happened. Okay. You disguise.
There's so much to say. Well, let's see if we can get a call or two in on the program before we call it a wrap. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to X-Ray.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay. Have you been following the program? Hello? All right. Lost that call there. 08033221149. If you have been following the conversation, why don't you call in and let's just hear a thought from you in a very few seconds. Hello?
Yeah, hello. Good morning, Mr. Mike.
Morning. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Mahmoud. Comrade Mahmoud, brother.
Good morning.
All right, it's Kingsley calling from Usetu.
Okay, Kingsley, go ahead.
All right, I think I agree with what Comrade has said, actually. You know, there's something about working and when you have your supervisor, looking into what you're doing, okay? For instance, if the way I'm somebody working in an organization, when I have my manager sitting close to me, supervising what I'm doing, okay, there are certain things I will not do. There are certain negligence I would not, there are certain things I won't neglect to do. It's not because I'm trying to do some form of eye service, but because his presence is there alone. It makes me know that there is need to sit
Don't make any mistakes, yeah.
At all times, okay? So I think what he just said about the issue of those supervisors going into the field to see what those young people are doing will go a long way to tackle this thing. It's not just about sitting down and taking the AC, the comfort of their houses and everything. And that's why for one, I never support the issue of giving an extra money to the military for security issues. Because it will only go to those top people in the military, and then they need to buy bigger cars and bigger houses. There's no form of motivation that goes to the guys who are in the field, the guys who are even doing the real fighting or the real security part of themselves. So I think the issue of the supervisors sitting up will really go a long way. It will go a long, long way to combat the issue of security in this country.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Kieran.
Thank you, Kingsley. 08033221149. Let's see if we can get one final call, and we'll call it a wrap on X-Ray today. Hello? Hello? Okay, I can't hear you, so I'm going to have to end that, and let's see who this is. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah,
Sorry?
my name is
I can't hear you. What did you say your name is? Oh, sorry about that. Bad network. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am Matthew from Abuja.
Okay. Please quickly go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, on the issue, I think what the analyzer is talking is very important. The redneck or the officers in the office should go out and do the great, wonderful supervision. And at the same time, there should be strategies. Security should not be exposed. It should be, kept in secret. They should be disguised so that they can be able to get out, fish out all these hoopla.
Okay. Thank you.
That they go out to the area and they disguise themselves, not with uniform or with arms. The intelligence is very important in security.
All right.
So that's what I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we cannot pick any more calls, but thank you for participating. Comrade Salu, you have listened to, a few, very, very few of what Nigerians think about the situation. But then, in conclusion, just 60 seconds now. Let's have your thoughts.
You see, I will still conclude by saying, let us borrow suit from KGB, CIA, and FBI. When Operation Desert Storm was to commence in 1991 against Iraq, the Americans sent FBI agents as well as CIA agents to know where their warships, the Marine will situate there, what have you, what is there and what is there, and they were able to achieve it. So also, when the Russians were fighting the Afghanistan, even though that war cannot be said to have victor or vanquished. So the issue I'm talking about now, before combat operations, whether it is police, whether it is Land Army, Air Force, Navy, DSS, or let intelligence gathering be the focal point. Let it form first in their agenda. With that, they will be able to know where, who, and the routes these people pass to come and carry out herdsmen attack, banditry attack, as well as insurgent attacks. Then also, there's one thing we need to know. When you talk about insurgency, it can be curtailed. It's only terrorism that stays for years. What is happening in the Northeast has not gotten to the level of terrorism yet. And I wonder what the combined military are doing. Even though they have been putting their effort, they should enhance more intelligence gathering. They will be able to achieve. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. That has been Comrade Salu Mahmood, a security analyst, and we look forward to having you another time.
Thank you.
And thanks to those who listen in on the program. We'll make a return tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour right here on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. My name is Ruth Usman, and I'll be back in just a moment on Pro Bono Chambers. Stay with us.